It is like 12:12 p.m., so it's noon on Friday, December 25th, and this is just the summary of my dreams. I just went to look at my CPAP machine, and it says it's been on for 12 minutes, but that's only because after noon, it switches to the next day, so I don't even know how long I slept, but I think I went to bed around 2 again, which I don't know how that happens. I keep saying, go to bed at 9 and get on a good schedule. I say that every night, and then, I'll upload one YouTube video, and then I'll just sit there and keep refreshing it to see how many views it gets. Okay, so let's see. I was dreaming about, what's her name? Susan Sarandon. I was friends with her. Now, I met her once at a pizza place with my girlfriend like 15 years ago. So maybe that's why she's in my head. Let me see. There was a scene. I was in an ad agency, kind of like a version of my old ad agency in an office tower. Let me think. I was walking past Tina, a producer I used to work with a lot, and I heard her saying something like, yeah, I guess I'm just going to boot him or something. And I went up to her. I'm like, you talking about me? Like, you're kicking me off? You're not my producer anymore? She's like, well, I haven't seen you in a long time. I didn't even know you were still here. I'm like, yeah, to be honest, I'm not even sure if I still work here anymore. I haven't done anything in a long time. And I just walked past Brian, my old art director, and he was saying he hasn't seen me or something. And then I ran into a producer. Maybe Mandy? No, it was this other woman. I can't remember her name, but it's a brunette. And she's like, okay, well, let's get in the elevator. And I was like, yeah, I guess I'm leaving, but I'll come down the elevator with you. And then in the elevator, I was like, oh no, I left my stuff upstairs or something. I can't get back up. Can you press the button? But then I saw on the buttons there was only like 3 buttons, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, they've got different elevators for different floors now. And then I was like, okay, so we're going down, but then the elevator just sort of goes deep into the underground, and then it's completely dark, and then there's just like dots, like little dots, and I'm like, are we in space? And I'm like, well, it comes underground, but then it sort of goes sideways, and then we're all crammed in this little thing, can barely move, and I've got my arm around her. I'm like, I'm sorry I have my arm around you, it's just we're crammed in here. And then it starts showing a little movie on the screen, like a Tom and Jerry movie, like on the ceiling of it. I'm like, oh my God, they're going to show this entire movie? Like, is there no way to get out of this? We're going to die. We can't breathe. And then there's the guy in the elevator and then this woman, and they're just staying very still because I guess they don't want to use up the oxygen. And then at some point I was in the street of Queen Street in Toronto, and I'm just, I don't know, walking around, talking to some other producer, and then I hear this guy that's like runs a sound company or something, and he's saying, yeah, we've got this show with Benedict Cumberbatch, and we're doing like a live show later at a bar, and Josh is the host, and he's going to be like in a diaper. It'll be funny because it'll be this bald guy in a diaper, and I'm like, wait a minute, when is this show? He's like, tonight. I'm like, you didn't tell me that. He's like, well, what do you mean? We talked about it like a month ago. And I'm like, I don't remember. You can't just sort of say, oh yeah, you're doing this thing. And then by the way, it's going to be like you got to remind me and ask me about it again. See how it's going. So I'm like, oh, do I do it? I guess I should. Maybe I can still write some material in the next couple of hours. So I'm just walking around and then my phone rings. And then for some reason, I have 2 phones in my hands, and I put them one to each ear, and this girl's like, hey, I'm in Florida, and I was just talking to the mayor of Orlando, and I said, they want to talk to you, and then I was like, okay, hey, mayor, and so I'm talking to the mayor on the other phone. I don't know why I have 2 phones on either side of my head, and then I wanted to say something like, yeah, the girl who just we're talking to here, just gave me an iPhone. That's why I have 2 iPhones or something. But in my head, I knew she works at Apple and she wasn't supposed to be giving me the iPhone. And that's probably remnants of, I did like an Instagram story live a couple of days ago, and somebody said they worked at Apple and they weren't supposed to or something. And then, I don't know, now it's all fading again. And then there was a scene. I guess I was sort of more watching it because I was in like this big sort of kind of almost like a kitchen, like a lab, I guess. And then the bad guy was like, okay, everybody, good luck, and then sort of walked out. And then the scientist was on the ground realizing, wait a minute, there's a bomb about to go off. And then the door slammed and then an explosion, but then he's still there and he's like, oh, I guess we're okay somehow. But then he realized the microwave kind of looked like a dishwasher with a glass door, but it was like beeping and he's like, no, it's about to blow up. And then he's trying to escape. And some other guys, like some big scientist is like, I got to get out first. And I'm a Jewish donor or something. He's like an organ donor or something. And then, but then they're looking at the door up on the wall and it's all like sealed up with foam and stuff and they can't escape. So that was all scary. And then around this time, I think there was banging upstairs in my house and started to wake me up. And then I finally looked at my phone. I'm like, is it time to wake up yet? Like if it's 10 a.m., then that's 8 hours, but it was noon. And so that's what happens because the night before, I stayed up till 2 and then woke up at 6 and then tried to sleep again and then set my alarm for 9:30 so I could get up for the stock market. So, or 9:29 probably. And then yeah, when I do a night like that, then the next night I like sleep 10 hours. And the second I sort of start to wake up, I feel this pit in my stomach, like, oh my God, I'm old, I'll never feel joy again. And I just wonder, is that what I'm doomed to for the rest of my life? Like now I remember that this guy, this bartender I was sitting with, who was working in the bar under my office tower, I guess I was in my 30s, he was like, oh, just wait till you're 40, like every time you wake up, you feel like crap. And I didn't know whether he meant like physically, like your knees are going to hurt. And when I turned 40, I was like, I don't know, don't feel any different. But maybe he just means the terror of like, oh my God, and then I'm like, maybe all I can think of is maybe the people who feel fine is just the people who've sort of been following the right path in life. Like, okay, at 20, they get married, they've got a kid. So now at 48, they've got like, at 28-year-old kid, maybe grandkids. Maybe they've got an 8-year-old grandkid already. And then, they've got a job they like, they got a house every day. They visit their friends, like they've got a routine. Like they don't feel like they're panicking, like, oh God, it's too late to do anything. Maybe those are the people that wake up fine. Or maybe some people just know mentally how to give themselves permission to be like, I'm not going to worry. Things will happen as they happen, and I'm just going to enjoy things. And I wonder, like, if I was the only person on Earth, would it be better? Because then I wouldn't be seeing young people. I wouldn't be jealous of them. I could just be doing my own thing. I don't know. Anyway, so that is my nightly summary of my dream. And now it's Christmas. My sister said she was coming over for lunch, so usually she gets here like early, like 9 or 10. So I don't even know if she's here. I guess I'll find out. And then we're supposed to have 4 p.m. Reservations at a Chinese restaurant for dinner on Christmas. And maybe my aunt's coming, but I got health issues, so we'll see. And then maybe my sister. Actually, I don't think my sister's supposed to come. I don't know. So I guess we'll see. Merry Christmas to everyone.